born, giving up your body from this world, they can go back to the place that they originated from. Otherwise, the human life is not different from animal life. So here Krishna is bringing the gopis and Radharani for us to take them an exemplary devotees how to achieve that goal of life. Somewhere or other, people know something about the goal of life. They're called Purusa Vitti. They know the importance of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, the right way of living, economic development, and sense enjoyment and liberation. Yam imam puspitam vacham pravadanti avapasita. Beautifully, Krishna explains this thing in chapter 2, 6, 42, 43, and onward. A man of small intelligence carried away by the flowering of Vedas. So the Vedas have spoken. There are only 3 subject matters spoken in the Vedas. Bhagavan Samanta Bhakti Abhideyaya Prema Kyodana Vedina Vastutaya. The Vedas spoken, Dharma Kanda section, spoken, the Jnana Kanda section, and also Upasana Kanda, that is Bhakti, part of the Vedas. But somewhere or other, Veda, somewhere, they are influenced by the 3 modes of material nature. So people know Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Beyond that, they do not know there is one thing very, very important. Like whether you perform your duty in your life, whether you make an economic development or sense enjoyment and the liberation, unless this is supported by love in their life. The basic platform for a human being to become very happy and peaceful in their life, whatever he's doing, either family or education, economic development, they have to understand without having love in their life, everything ultimately will frustrate them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained these things to Ramananda. Bhagavad Bhakti Rinasya Gati Sasra Napasta Bhakti Vadeyasya Mandanam Loktaranjan. Without having love in their life, whatever they achieve in their life, it's all like a decoration to a dead body. Nobody benefits by decorating a dead body. In a way that somewhere that is important, it is called Panchama Artha. There's a 5th Veda and an 8th in the scripture. Even Sukadeva Goswami, when he spoke Bhagavad, he indirectly mentioned this name. If you read the 10th canto, chapter 30, text 28, there is a verse has been spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. Anaya Bhagavan Hare Ishvara Janno Vihaya Govinda Pritiyam Anayaraha. He called the name Aradhita. Directly is not mentioned the name of Radha. And beautifully it has been mentioned in the Brahma Vaikuntha Purana. Radhika Nama Mantrena Murjan Vyavesikha Bhave Neto Ratam Matum Swami Parikshete Mahamani. Somewhere rather, Sukadeva Goswami did not mention the name of Radha directly. Because other side, Parikshit Maharaj is only for 7 days to listen to the Bhagavatam Katha. And yes, Sukadeva Goswami realizes if he mentions the name of Radha, and he may go into the topmost ecstatic of love. That love to subdue, he says, it may take about 6 months for him to come out from the ecstasy of Radharani. But here, Parikshit Maharaj has got only 7 days to live. So it is not mentioned. So generally people do not understand. There's a fifth Veda talks about Panchamaharta, the pure love in the heart of the living being is not been properly educated towards the people. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes again. Aragayo Bhagavan Vajesh Tanayam Dham Vrindavan Ramya Kachit Upasana Bhagavan Vajesh Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Preman Pumanarto Mahan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Tatra Dhamam the prema Pumanarto the highest goal in human life. The highest goal in any essence of the Vedas to retain and pray, retain the love of God. It's only by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that this Panchamaharta, prema, the ultimate love towards the Krishna being revealed to the entire world. And there is what Prabhupada has contributed to the world. Whatever economic development, whatever the prime duty, whatever duty you think in your life, with the family or children or anything, it's all become useless. Ultimately, it will frustrate everybody unless it has got the platform of Puman Attumahan, that prema, the love of God. That's why when Prabhupada was going to America, he writes the poem, Krishna Dava Punya Hadeva, E Punya Paribe Jabe Radha, beautifully right. It's only by the mercy of Radha that the message of Bhagavatam would be spread all around. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Ramananda in Simachalam, Godavani Deva, Mahaprabhu has asked Ramananda Roy to explain to him the ultimate goal of human life. Then Ramananda Roy, he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Varna Sramachara Mata Putena Parakumar. He said, according to Varna Ashram, there are social body, there is spiritual body. Accordingly, whatever is said, if they follow that, he said that is the ultimate goal. Prabhupada, he said, my dear Ramananda, it's all external. God is a bit more deeper. And Ramananda Roy said, let us Rasi, in chapter 9, text 27, Ramananda Roy quote to that word. Whatever you give, whatever you accept, whatever offer you do, all you do in the name of Krishna. Again, Mahaprabhu said, He says, it's all external, go more deeper. And then again, Ramananda Roy quoted the verse from chapter 1864, Brahma Bhuta Krishna Monasu Chutinatan Siddhi, Sama Sarvesu Bhuteshu Bhakti Lavate Param. When people give up, the entering and lamentation of this world, when they are situated in the Brahma Bhuta and the Samadhi level, he says, that is the goal of Mahaprabhu says, still external, go more deeper. And Ramananda says, Sarodhar Man Parijayam. They go to the verse from 1866. And said, Mahaprabhu says, not externally, go more deeper. And Ramananda was thinking, this is the ultimate teaching of Bhagavad Gita. And I'm quoting from what Krishna has said, but still Mahaprabhu says, not enough. He go a bit more deeper. And he was thinking, what else is there with Mahaprabhu? And Mahaprabhu says, my dear Ramananda, whether you are situated in our system, whether you are doing everything, accepting and giving and offering to Krishna, whether you are the Brahma Buddha for platform, whether you come to surrender to Krishna without bhakti, he said everything is useless. Without bhakti, Bhagavad Bhakti Vinasa, all your chanting of the mantra, all your reading of the scripture, all your worship, he says everything is useless. without bhakti. So now you understand. Panchamahalta, there is another thing is in the Veda. Then only Ramananda Roy began to speak about the glories of Radharani and Bhakti. Ramananda Roy says, Radhika ayena Krishna pranayam vikte Swarup Sakti Ladine Tanam. He said, my dear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if he talks about that pure love, the embodiment of the pure love is Radharani and no others in the world who are equal and superior to the pure love shown by Radharani. And she functioned in the Ladini Sakti, explains Antaranga Sakti, Paharanga Vairanga Sakti, and Kadartha Sakti. Very deeply, Ramananda Roy mentioned those things. Premere Paramasaro Mahabhavajati E Mahabhavarupa Radha Taturane Mahabhava Swarupa Radha Taturane Sarvaguna Krishna Kanta Siromani. There is nobody has got that kind of prema love for Krishna other than Radharani. In this way, Ramananda Roy established to Mahaprabhu the topmost bhakta, the devotee of Krishna, Radharani. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, then while in the forest of Aulava, then he heard the conversation of two parrots. They are called Sukha and Sadika. Sukha is the male parrot and Sadika is the female parrot. So they were talking and Mahaprabhu heard their conversation. Sukha was telling, the male parrot was telling to the Sadika, the female parrot, that Krishna is Madana Mohan, is the attractor of every living being in the world, is the topmost Sukha says. And later the Sadika, the female parrot, it says, no. Your Krishna may be topmost and attracting everybody. But my Radhika, he said, Madana Mohana Mohini, Jagat Mohana Krishna, Anhare Mohini, Ateva Samastere, Paratatani, Govinda Nandini Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvatma, Sarvakanta Siromani. Your Govinda may be enchanting the world, but your Govinda has been enchanted by so somewhere other. The parrot told, your Krishna got 64 qualities, but my Radha has got 55 qualities. But stay with the 25 qualities. There is one quality is there, Asnavake Sava, that she puts Krishna into a pocket. There is control game. There are 25 qualities of Radharani, Madhura, Navavaya, Chala, Panga, Kuntala Smita, Chalusva, Adyareka, Ganda, Hanurita, Manava, Sangeeta, Prasara, Habigya, Ramyava, Nama, Pandita, Vidana, Karuna Purna, Vidaka, Patava, Handita, Legislative, True Maria, the Vairi, Samir, True Vidasa, Mahabhava, Parama Uttarishi, Tarishi Prema, Jagat Sriniyata, Guru Sneha, Sati Praleta Vasa, Krishna Priya, Avani Mukhya, and the 26th quality of Radharani Astra Kesava, control, totally control Krishna. And the very first quality of Radharani is Madhura, sweetness. Prabhupada says, whichever side you bite your gulab jamun, only sweet and sweet. It's not like we are carried away by the material emotion. Morning we are a little bit sweet And afternoon, little bit was and night time was a demon. Emotion, hunger, all sweetness. Now I am freshly youthful. Chala Krishna. They wrote in the Gopi Gita, Atiti Bhavam Ahuvikananam Turiti Yugayute Apasyatam Kutila Kundalam Sri Mukam Jate Jadaunaritam Krishnam. When Krishna goes to the forest, and she felt like, more than a millennium has passed. And when Krishna comes back, he wants to enjoy the beauty of Krishna. But somewhere there's an hindrance by the eyes. And she said, my dear Brahma, your creation is imperfect. So always, eyes very chanchalam. Ujjwala smita, she always got a very bright smile. Charu Saubhagya Adhireka, there are auspicious marks on the body of, Radharani. Gandha Nithammarva, there are beautiful fragrance comes from the body of Radharani. Sangeeta Prasara, she is the best singer. Ramya Bhakti is the best speaker. And Narma Pandita, she is the best joker. And Dana, she is very humble. Karna Purna, she is totally massive. Vidal, she is very cunning. Why she is very cunning? The Krishna is very cunning. Probably if a policeman wants to catch thief, yes, run as good as the thief. If the thief is entering one way lane, but policeman doesn't think, I'm going to break the law to catch the thief. So she is going like that because Krishna is doing that. Partava Hanvita, she performs the duty very beautifully. She has got everything, other thing happening around her. A family, children, mother-in-law, everybody around. Despite of all this commitment in life, she's very careful and she's doing every over duty very beautifully. Partava Hanvita, Radhashtami, she's very shy. She's very respectful to everybody. Dairya, she's very calm. And Gambhirya, she's very grave. And so Vilata, she's very playful. And Mahabhava, she's the topmost ecstatic love of Krishna. Parama Uttarishni, Tarishni Prema, she is the best excellence, highest excellence in the whole universe. And Jagat Srinivasa, she is very submissive. Guru Sneha, she is very affectionate. Sati Pranay, she is controlled by the Gopis, and Krishna Priya Havili Mukya, she is the topmost of the Gopis. And finally, Asura Kesava, where she controls Krishna with a wonderful quality. Ananta Gunera Sri Radhikara Sita Pradhana E Gunera Vasa Ayat Bhavan. She controls Krishna, just not for talking. We got serious problem in the world. So many so-called sadhus and religion organizations, they sit and talk a very loving, very affectionate religion, but they don't care about anything about others. Very selfishly seated in the one position and so-called spiritual way of life. But here Radharani demonstrates. The Krishna brings the gopis and Radharani first to see how beautiful these people are. They are willing to give up even their own, the Kula Dharma. In the first chapter, Arjuna refused to participate in Kula Dharma was Sanatana. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, I cannot take part in this battle because there is a family dharma, foundation of family. I don't want to go against the family dharma. When the gopis are going against the family dharma. In India, those days, if your girl going up from the house, she's not coming back a day. Maximum they give 3 days, you're not coming back. They don't accept you in the house. But then, the gopis are leaving the house at night time. Just simply they can meet Krishna. Patisutanvaya Pradurmandalam Ativilangayotyenti Achudam Tada. Beautifully they explain the Gita book that they are, my dear Krishna, we are building our house in midnight just simply to come and see. And you know why you're coming here. But you are pretending like you do not know, avoiding God. Though like you do not know why you are coming. Nobody can be greater children than Presitam Priyam Prema Vichanam Viharanam Chate Jnanam Galam. There was so much of priyam, so much of love for you. We enjoy the way you walk, we enjoy the way you look, we enjoy the way you smile, every of your activities we enjoy. That already been installed in our heart and mind. It's very difficult to take away those memories from our heart and our mind. But you are just trying to neglect us. How can be done? Talasiyan Prajam Chalayan Pasu Nalin Sundara Adate Tilatrinan Pure Siddhatina. Beautifully explains again. When you're going for raising the cows, you are going without a shoe. And Krishna refused to wear a shoe because mother said, better you wear and go. Krishna said, all my cow, 900,000, they're not wearing anything. My dear mommy, you can go and shoe for them or wear the shoe. Because if you are not going through that, difficulty, you refuse to wear. The Bhakti says you are going, without wearing a shoe. And it's still that, there are rough, pebbles or roots or the leaves or anything can hurt your clothes. In this way, they beautifully connected themselves with Krishna consciousness. And Radharani is known also as Adipriya. Very dear to Lord Krishna. Krishna has got unlimited devotees. Out of their 16,000 are selected to be the best. And from that, 108 selected people better. And from that, 8 has been selected, Lalita, Visakha, then Chitra, Champakalata, Kumbhavidya, and Induleka, Ranga Devi, and Sundevi, and all of them just sitting beside Krishna and doing nothing. And Lalita is very expert in playing the veena, and then Visakha is very expert in playing the pratanga, and the Tunga Vidya very expert in playing the sitar, and Chitra very expert playing the sitar, and Champaklata very expert offering the chamara, and Tunga Vidya very expert carrying the message from Radha to Krishna, and we got Induleka, very expert, in doing the makeup for Radharani. And we got the Radharani, very expert, do the main servant, bringing the water that is required for them to drink. In this way, all the gopis are engaged in the service of Krishna. Say Radha, say gopis, Uttama Radhika. Say gopis madhye uttama radhika rupe gune manam. Beautifully, Mahaprabhu explained all these gopis, gopi madhye, among these 8 gopis. Krishna, Mahaprabhu said that Radharani is the topmost. So in this way, that is the message in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman Parityajya. There's only one message in Bhagavad Gita. There can be 700 verses, 18 chapters, but there's only one message Krishna wants to give. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamikam Saranam Prajam. Then Mahaprabhu told Ramananda, right, without love, what is the use of the surrender? So ultimately, the love will connect us towards Krishna, and the love, the exemplary, the way out of Krishna. Krishna brings the gopis and Radharani for us to learn from them. so many types of impediments for them, so much of test and tribulation for them to be with Krishna, but they did not bother. So they are demonstrating again, Sukhaduki, some of people about there on the chapter 2, text 30, and whether you are happy or not happy, whether you are gaining or losing, whether winter or summer, always looking to the beauty. So the gopis are demonstrating any condition of life, the greatest devotee is always attached to this thing. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains there are three kinds of rati, the attractions are there. One is called sadhana rati, another is called samanjasa rati, and another one is called samantana rati. That important one. Samanjasa rati is that is in the vision of Krishna, you get some sort of attraction. When we come to temple, we feel very nice with the devotee. When we associate with the devotee and chant, we feel very nice. Say in the presence of the vision of Krishna, you get some sort of excitement. Maybe some of us when we see the prasadam get more excited. As a normal attraction. Mahaprabhu said, Yukta, and then that exemplary when he saw Krishna, he was excited. And that is called money, jewel. It's a normal money, it's not a chinta money. The second one he says is that Samanjasa, it is a chinta money, just like the voice of Krishna in Dwarka. They felt that kind of attraction to Krishna. It's called chinta money. That wherever you touch, it creates some sort of opulence in life. And then the Samantarati, there's a best one is only the gopis and got this attraction, this attachment for Krishna. It is called Kaustubha money. Then when the Kaustubha is the heart of Krishna, the chest of Krishna is not taken away. Inta money external. No, other money is also external, but the Kaustubha, always Krishna is dwelling in his heart. Said the gopi has shown that kind of attraction. Said, if anyhow you want to perform bhakti, say, Ara you Bhavan. The days of Vrindavan, the bhakti is given by the gopis of Vrindavan, aided by Radharani. Thank you so much for kindly taking the time to come here for Radhashtami festival. Maharaj is here, and Maharaj will give more nectar. Thank you so much, Maharaj. I am humble of this. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Jai Sri Radhashtami Mahamahotsav ki Jai. Jai Gaura Namaste.
Maharaj ki.
Will begin by chanting a song so beloved for Radhashtami especially. The song is by Swami from the work of Swami. Most of you can see the board. In this song by Swami, you hear of some of the unlimited characteristics of Srimati Radharani. First of all, Madhavadaya, she is the beloved, the dearest one in Lord Madhava. And you have to understand Srimati Radharani in context, in the proper context. Gokula Taruni Mandala. Amongst all the transcendently exquisite young girls of Gokula, she's number one. She's adored and worshipped as the most dear to Krishna. So when you try to understand someone or something, it's always helpful to know the context. The context, just like the setting, the gold setting for a diamond on a ring. The gold setting is important to help you understand the beauty of the diamond when seen in relation to its setting. So this Gokula Taruni Mandala is very, because all of Krishna's consorts have no material features, have no material qualities. Yet, although there's nothing in the heavenly planets, there's nothing in Vaikuntha, what to speak of anything on earth that can compare to Krishna's consorts. The damsels of Braj, still Srimati Radharani is number one. So Srila Swami wants us to understand that. One point about Srimati Radharani's youthfulness, because this song explains Vishnabhanu Dadi Radhashtami. She's like a new moon that has arisen from the ocean of Vishnabhanu. that means she has no material birth. So you may wonder, in Braj Leela, what's her childhood like? Especially as she approaches youthfulness, because in her youthfulness is the time for the Madhurya Ras with Krishna. So the Acharyas describe how Shyamala, one Gopi associate, is jokingly chastising Radharani's childhood phase, speaking to the childhoodness of Srimati Radharani. Better you leave now, because her youthfulness is quickly approaching, and you, childhood, will be annihilated. Better you depart quickly. Now, the Acharyas explain that actually features of rasa in Srimati Radharani, the rati, the various stages of rasa, the various levels of intensity, rati, prem, sneha. Rati is bhava, prem, pure love, and sneha is one of the advanced stages of prem. They're always there in Srimati Radharani, even in her childhood, but they're discernible. So Shyamala is saying, look, in other words, we know what's there, we know what's present. We know what's there. So let it manifest now, and childhoodness should quickly disappear. You'll be vanquished. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the example that there may be pots and pans and other utensils in the kitchen, but if the kitchen's dark, you don't see it all there. Although it's there, all those things are there. Similarly, the rasa abilities of Srimati Radharani are there even in childhood, although not discernible. So Shyamala is saying to the childhood, jokingly addressing the childhood, get going, move on, move on. Something better is coming. Of course, in the spiritual world, there's no question of material inferiority. But you're hearing Vishyabhami Adi Radhashtami. Srimati Radharani has no material birth and no material form. And whatever she does is for Krishna's pleasure. As the foremost devotee, she teaches how to do everything 100% for Krishna's pleasure. Jamadana Rati Vardhana Veshik, whether she dresses, decorates herself, artistic performances, dancing, singing, everything 100%, unparalleled presentations for Krishna's pleasure. That's why devotees aspire for the recommendation of Srimati Radharani. If she recommends us to Krishna, Krishna will certainly accept. So a devotee, as Srila Prabhupada instructs, aspires for the recommendation of Srimati Radharani, not Krishna directly, because Krishna is the property of Srimati Radharani. Now, you may say, if Krishna is indeed truly independent, that's established. That point is established in the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Swarat, Abhidya Swarat. Krishna is fully conscious and completely independent. So then, what is this about his dependency on his devotees? not simply dependency, but his subordination to his devotee. That is not a fault. Although for materialists, it's impossible to understand, and the point is even difficult to understand for the Vaikuntha worshippers, those who worship the Supreme Lord with awe and reverence. As you know, in Vaikuntha, there are mostly 2 rasas, sometimes 2.5. There's Shantaras, the rasa of neutrality. There's Dasaras, the rasa of servitude. And sometimes, not often, there's the awe and reverence part of Sakyaras, of friendship. Not like the friendship amongst the cowherd boys and Krishna and Radha, but there's the awe and reverence friendship, a little bit of that in Vaikuntha. That's as far as things go. Krishna doesn't manifest that he, in Vaikuntha, Krishna does not manifest that he comes under control of his devotee. He doesn't show that in Vaikuntha. So Vaikunthites who are absorbed in awe and reverence, oh my Lord, you are so great, your majesty and powers are unlimited. They may not understand it. They have difficulty understanding how is it that Krishna is under the control of these devotees, his brides. But you see, Krishna is still being self-sufficient, even when he comes under control of Srimati Radharani. Because Srimati Radharani is the pressed jewel of his internal potency. So Krishna is always complete. And Krishna contains qualities that we would consider, or characteristics that we would consider, both male and female. That's Radha Krishna. So in this way, Krishna is the ultimate androgynous person. He defies all material gender classification. Many persons today try to imitate that on the material platform, defying all gender classification. But Krishna is the real thing. Completely on the spiritual platform. So Radha Krishna is the exchange of love. By Krishna's coming under the control of her love, it adds to his glory infinitely. It is not a fault. Even in the material world, you can see how we try to imitate Krishna and come under the, we like to see if we can come under the control of someone's love. The child starts crying and the mother, oh my dear, what would you do now? Parents, they like to be told what to do by their little children, by the little children. Oh, mother, I would like to eat this. Oh, mother, I would like to eat that. The mother feels blissful. And of course, in the so-called romantic affairs in which human beings try to imitate Krishna's pastime, even the men with their ego, they sometimes like to come under control of their partner's charms. Oh, my dear, do with me what you like. Your wish is my desire. It's imitation of Krishna rasa. So even in the material world, my point is, we can see that there is some pleasure in coming under the control of someone's love if you trust that person, at least for the moment. Just do with me what you like. Order me around. Yes, dear. Just like the men often say that in their marriage, they always get the last word. Yes, dear. So this This Radha Krishna Leela is the real thing. So it's not a fault of Krishna that he likes it more to come under the control of his devotees' love. Much more than all the ornate prayers of the Vedas. He likes it when his girlfriend's chastising him. You cheater, get out of here. He likes that. Or as explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when the cowherd boys wrestle with him and tell him, you're no big person at all. Who do you think you are? You're nothing great. We're just as good as you. They climb on his shoulders. Krishna likes that more than anything. But remember, he's not coming under the control of the internal potency. Excuse me, he's not coming under the control of the external potency, which is his also. But Krishna never comes under the influence of his external potency. But his internal potency, yes, he chooses to do that. So you have to understand the tattva, the science, and the rasa, the exchanges of love. The tattva is what? As stated in Upanishad, Nityo Nityana, Chaitanas Chaitanam, Eko Bahunam Yoga Dadati Kama. Out of all the eternal beings, there's one chief, eternal. Out of all the conscious beings, there's one chief conscious being. And what's the first way you can tell the difference? Eko Bahunam Yoga Dadati Kama. The one maintains all the others. So from the viewpoint of tattva, even when Krishna subordinates himself in loving affairs, he's still the maintainer. But from the viewpoint of rasa, Krishna actually forgets. He likes to forget. It's the arrangement of Yoga Maya, his special personal potency that causes Krishna and his gopis to forget about anything except that they are each other's lovers. And it is the arrangement of Yoga Maya that Krishna comes under control of his pure devotion love. So this is a very fascinating subject matter. You find it discussed in chapter 4 of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Such a deep chapter. You can read it over and over and over again. Because Krishna himself is wondering about the glory of Radharani's love. What's it like? He loves me. What is it like? And then he wonders about the sweetness that she tastes in him. What does she taste in me? How sweet am I? I don't know. And then he wonders, Krishna wonders about the happiness that Srimati Radharani feels. She experiences in relation to him. So as Radhashtami explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, these three things especially perplex Krishna, and he can't understand to his full satisfaction. He can't understand these things as Krishna. He has to take the position and the emotions of Srimati Radharani. And how does he do that? Everyone knows. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Narayan. Lord Chaitanya is Radha Krishna combined. He's Krishna turned golden by the emotions because he's taken on the emotions of Srimati Radha. In material life, people consider emotions so important. Do you have emotional intelligence? Are you being sensitive enough? Are you being understanding enough? Do you understand how I feel? Do you understand what I've been through? That's always going on. Right? But Krishna is the supremely emotional, intelligent person. And he demonstrates that in his Radha Krishna Leela. So one more point. Do we have time in the altar? You said that the last time. All right, we'll trust you. All right, so we're discussing this tricky point about how Krishna's subordination to the law of Bhakti Radharani is not some kind of demeaning characteristic, as some might see it due to their attachment to the worship rules and regulations of Vaikunta. Why are you treating Krishna like this? He should be treated with full recognition of his majesty, whereas Braj is something different. But it's all Krishna's arrangement. He is the supreme enjoyer. He knows what the best enjoyment is. The best enjoyment is when my fiancés chastise me, when my lovers criticize me. Krishna relishes this more than anything. He sometimes falls at their feet, especially he falls at the feet of Srimati Radharani. Please talk to me. Don't ignore me. You've been with those other girls. And then later she laments, oh, I shouldn't have been so harsh. And then there's all kinds of messages going on in Braj. Cowherd boys delivering messages to Krishna from the gopis, messages sent back, all kinds of negotiations, and let's get together again. So this is constantly going on. If you want to know where the origin of gossip and rumors are, it's Braj. Constant negotiations, renegotiation, eternally. And here we are with our Maya affairs trying to imitate and enjoy. So, as Srila Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 4, if you actually know what is Radha Krishna Leela, you cannot engage in any earthly imitations of that. You actually know what is Radha Krishna Leela. You actually understand it. And for those devotees who are eligible to take the therapy, take the cure, hearing about Krishna, Radha Krishna Leela purifies the heart. But that cure requires some complication. Just like there are certain Ayurvedic medicines which you can't take, even though they'll cure your disease, you can't take until your body is strong enough to handle it. So similarly, the tonic, the cure, the panacea of Radha Krishna Leela requires a certain level of advancement. And then, if you attain that level upon which the tonic works, you become free of mundaneness. But that takes some qualification to be able to receive the cure. So we're going to talk about how Krishna manifests his dependency on devotees. The dependency so much that it transforms even Krishna. So there are 4 stages of this praise that produce or not some transformation in Krishna. When I say transformation, I mean Krishna will not reveal his majestic powers, or those powers will become invisible. That's another way of looking at it. It's not that Krishna loses his powers in the face of his devotees who want to love him in a certain way, especially in Gopi Baba and Radhashtami. Doesn't lose his power, but because of the intensity of their spontaneous love, Krishna's powers, they disappear into the background. So there are 4 levels. The first level is with even a neophyte devotee. There's a speck of praying, pure love of Krishna, even in the affairs of a neophyte devotee. But that speck is practically invisible to the neophyte devotee, and it has no effect on Krishna's transformation. Krishna doesn't become dependent on that kind of neophyte love, even though there's a speck of praying there. That's why even for a beginning devotee, the beginning devotee senses there's something attractive about this bhakti. Can't put my finger on it. I'm still thinking on the body and mind. Portion of mundane affairs that dominate my life, but there's something there. And there is something there. There's a speck of praying. But that speck of praying, as we said, is not sufficient in purity, quantity and quality of purity to affect Krishna in such a way that Krishna will not present his powers, his inconceivable might. The next level, Krishna praying is present to a greater degree than neophyte. It's present in devotees like Narada Muni, when Krishna, by his arrangement, has such devotees appear in his leelas, but it's all by the circumstances arranged by Krishna. The fine point, it's not by the timeless yearning of the devotee or Krishna praying. It's like Krishna's pastimes require Narada Muni to be present. So you could say it's the force of the circumstances. It's not by such a devotee's long yearning for love of Krishna. Krishna's the supreme arranger. He's the supreme controller. So he wants you to show up in his pastimes, you show up. But still, this effect upon Krishna in terms of his powers, his majesty, is very visible. It's there much more than happens for neophytes. It's not there. But in this next stage, there is some effect on Krishna, but it's very minimal in terms of his burning within himself, so to speak, his inconceivable, his achintya shakti. The next level is one of a devotee's complete dependency. That is Radha, the residents of Vrindavan. Even when they see Krishna do something inconceivable, like kill Pujana, or lift Govardhan Hill, or be bound by Mother Yashoda to a rope, they think this is all not Krishna's power. It's because he must have done some pious activities in his past life, or it must be because we all worship Narayan. Or it's due to the powers of the Brahmana mantras in Raj. Our Brahmanas, they're very powerful, they can recite Buddha, and that allows Krishna to do all these things. So even though they're seeing the majesty right before their eyes, because they're so completely dependent on Krishna, that Krishna will even check his majesty. Although sometimes he just does it, but does it in a way that doesn't disturb their spontaneous feelings that he's our friend, he's our son, he's our lover. Just like in killing Putana, Krishna did it in a natural baby way. He sucked her breast, but the result, of course, was phenomenal. But as far as Mother Yashoda, she just sees he sucked her breast and then she died. So that is the third level of greater praise because of greater dependency, and that does restrict, so to speak, Krishna. He becomes affected, transformed by such devotee love. So much so that he doesn't reveal his, you would say, Vaikuntha majesty. Doesn't reveal it at all, or even when he shows it, the Brijvasis just ignore it. Then the final stage, number 4, is shown by Srimati Radharani. She has such an effect on Krishna that Krishna will completely restrict his exhibition of power and might. What's the proof given in the Shastra? The famous example at a Rasta dance happening at the base of Govardhan Hill. Krishna wanted to see if he could disappear from the gopis without their finding him. So he suddenly left the Rasa dance and hid himself in a grove. And he's calculating, will they be able to find me? Of course, they were able to find him by Braj detective work. Just as Mother Yashoda tracked down baby Krishna after he had broken the butter pot, he followed the butter smeared footprints. And during the Kaliya pastime, when the Brijvasis saw so many omens, bad omens in the sky, meteors in the sky, earthquakes on the land, their left side of their bodies trembling, they immediately thought, where is Krishna? They found out where Krishna is by following his footprints. They followed the trail of his footprints to the Yamuna River, and you know what they saw. They all fainted when they saw Krishna in the rivers of Kali. So the gopis in the Rasa Leela, when Krishna left, they found out where he is by following his footprints. So they came to the grove where Krishna is. They surrounded the grove. There's no way Krishna is going to escape. So Krishna had an idea. He changed himself into four-handed Narayan. So what did the gopis do? They approached, thinking, we've got Krishna. We got him surrounded. We got the grove totally closed off. No way he can escape. So they came into the grove, into the kunj, and they see Narayan. And they were surprised. Lord Narayan doing it, right? Why would he show up? We're just cowherd girls. He's the husband of the. They pay their obeisance. And then, of course, they asked the question that's important for them. Lord Narayan, we're looking for Krishna. Can you tell us where he went? And so the acharyas explained that Krishna didn't answer because he knew if he answers, they'll recognize his voice. So he wants them to continue to think he's Lord Narayan. So he doesn't answer. Instead, he fakes being in ecstasy and lifts an arm toward Govardhan Hill, indicating he's that way, he's that way. So the gopis go all marching to Govardhan Hill to find Krishna. Before they leave Narayan, they offer obeisance. After all, Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan. And then they go looking for Krishna. Some or other, at the end of the ensemble of gopis was Srimati Radharani. She was the last one to enter the kunja, as the others were leaving as directed. Go find Krishna, go around the hill. So Srimati Radharani enters, and Krishna is in a difficult situation. He can't retain his forearm from Narayana due to the power of her love, the transformative power of her absolute dependency. He changes back to Swami Krishna. Nanda Nanda, son of Mars Nanda, that form, that eternal form of all forms. So the acharyas point out, this shows the fourth level of dependency in training, which only Srimati Radharani has that intensity, that she can get Krishna to bury, so to speak, his Vaikunta majesty. Doesn't even show up, doesn't enter into the arena, so to speak, because of the power of her love, the power of her dependency. Srimati Radharani always has her associates, and Lord Chaitanya demonstrates this. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya demonstrates the emotions of Srimati Radharani. Because that is, sometimes people ask, what's the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It's the emotions of Srimati Radharani. Sometimes he demonstrates the emotions, sometimes Mahaprabhu takes her position, and sometimes he demonstrates himself as a maidservant of Srimati Radharani. Of course, that's very confidential, but that's there in Sri Chaitanya. So Srimati Radharani always has her associates, whom she's completely dependent on. Her associates are dedicated to her service, and she's completely dedicated to them. So although Krishna is the source of everything, even Radhashtami and all her, Srimati Radharani and all her expansions, still there's this dependency on Krishna, dependency on other devotees going on. Although ultimately Krishna is the source, no one in Braj thinks like that Krishna is the source. They just think he's our dearly beloved. And of all his dearly beloveds, Srimati Radharani is the foremost. So she has her associates, Vishaka, Lalita, as this song says. Lalita Saki Gunaram Vishake. And those chief associates have assistants. So those following in the footsteps of Radhanath Das Goswami, they don't aspire to be a girlfriend of Srimati Radharani. They aspire to be a maidservant of Srimati Radharani. So just as Krishna has his full dependency on his consorts, Srimati Radharani has her full dependency on her assistants. So this is what's going on in Braj. Complete dependency, not even seeing at all Krishna's powers, his inconceivable powers. And then at the beginning, he spoke about how Srimati Radharani's Youthfulness is always there, even in childhood. It's just there, dormant. A skillful eye can detect all the ingredients of Madhurya Rasa. So Shamala, remember Shamala, jokingly saying she's addressing the childhoodness of Srimati Radharani. Get out of here! Come on, leave. It's time for the youthfulness to come, and we know her youthfulness is already present in her body. So remember the example given by Vishnu Chakravarti. A kitchen can be full of all kinds of pots and pans, but if it's dark in the kitchen, you don't see what's there. Similarly, Srimati Radharani, even in childhood, has all the features for exchanging rasa, but they're indiscernible. You can't detect them, but they are there. So finally, Karunam Kurumai Karuna Varite Sanatana Varita Charite. In spiritual affairs, everything is verified by authorities. So Rupa is referring to Sanatan and Sanaka of the Kumaras. That it's not me only who's saying like this. They are saying like that. It's authorized. So he concludes, O Srimati Radharani, please be merciful. Krishna belongs to you. Krishna is yours. I'm begging you, please recommend me to your Lord Krishna. Jai Shri Radhe. You ready? Okay. We'll go on singing the song. Radhe Jaya.